President Abdel Fattah Sisi received Dr. Sidi Wuld Tah, President of the African Development Bank Group, which includes the African Development Bank and the African Development Fund. The meeting was attended by Mr. Hassan Abdallah, the acting governor of the Central Bank of Egypt, as well as Egypt's governor at the African Development Bank, as well as Dr. Khaled Sharif, the executive director for Egypt and Djibouti, and Mr. Mohammed Al-Azizi, the regional director general for North Africa. The official spokesperson for the presidency said that President Sisi welcomed Dr. Sidi Wuld Tah at the outset of the meeting, affirming Egypt's full support for his leadership of the African Development Bank Group since he assumed office in September 2025. He also pointed to the current economic and geopolitical challenges affecting development efforts across African countries, underscoring the pivotal role of the bank and the fund in mobilizing financial resources and providing the necessary technical support to the countries of the continent. For his part, the president of the African Development Bank Group expressed his pleasure at meeting President Sisi and his deep appreciation for Egypt's support to the group. He reaffirmed his commitment to working closely with the Egyptian government to strengthen long-standing cooperation between Egypt and the bank. He also congratulated Egypt on the economic reforms implemented over the past 10 years and on the resilience of the Egyptian economy in the face of global challenges, noting the importance of studying Egypt's experience and drawing lessons from it for other African countries. Ambassador Mohammed Al-Shenawi, official spokesperson, added the meeting also addressed the strategic partnership between Egypt and the bank, whether through Egypt's support to ensure financial sustainability of the bank and the fund, or through ongoing and planned projects with a joint cooperation portfolio. In this context, President Sisi commended efforts made to prepare the new country strategy paper between Egypt and the bank for 2027 to 2031, expressing hope that the strategy would align with national priorities and plans, particularly Egypt Vision 2030, and supporting the state's efforts to enhance the role of the private sector as a key driver of sustainable and inclusive development. The President also emphasized the importance of infrastructural projects across the African continent, as well as cross-border projects agreed upon amongst countries which contribute to strengthening regional integration and achieving sustainability standards and high development impact. He noted their positive effects on national economies, including facilitating movement of goods and passengers. In this regard, he highlighted the extensive expertise of Egyptian companies in implementing major development projects in African nations, affirming Egypt's readiness to share its experiences with the bank, the fund, and sister African nations. He stressed the need to exert all the necessary efforts and coordinate with the partners to mobilize the financial resources required to finance such projects across the continent. The meeting also discussed developments related to Egypt's hosting of the first edition of the African Business Forum in Alamein in June 2026. The meeting concluded with an affirmation of Egypt's continued support to the African Development Bank Group and commitment to advancing joint cooperation and coordination between the two sides. Also, President Abdel Fattah Sisi received Dr. Mustafa Madbouli, the Prime Minister. Official spokesperson for the presidency stated in the meeting addressed a number of political, economic and social files on the government's agenda. In this regard, the Prime Minister reviewed efforts related to expanding social protection measures and supporting the most vulnerable citizens, as well as files concerning development of education and healthcare, comprehensive development, investments, increasing exports and localizing industries within the framework of the Egypt Vision 2030. Ambassador Mohammed Al-Shenawi, the official spokesperson, added during the meeting, President Sisi stressed the necessity of securing the country's needs of strategic commodities for a sufficient period in light of the ongoing regional and international developments. He also emphasized the importance of continuing and intensifying efforts to curb inflation while maintaining increased spending on the health, education and social protection sectors. The President also underscored the need to monitor market regulation and ensure availability of food commodities. The spokesperson noted the President also followed up with the Prime Minister on preparations underway for the inauguration of the new campus of Senghor University in Burj Al Arab this May. The project reflects depth of cooperation between Egypt and its international partners and contributes to supporting development and capacity-building efforts across the African continent by providing an integrated education environment accommodating students from various African and Francophone countries.